Monday, January 7th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East. Let's begin with a look at the Avalon Pier web camera there in the North Carolina Outer Banks. Around Kitty Hawk's 42 degrees, a north wind at 6 miles per hour, and up in the mountains, there's a peak at Banner Elk where it's 21. So it's a fairly chilly January morning here all across the region. We had very quiet night here across the region. On the radar imagery, all is quiet, not only around here, but across most of the eastern U.S. A few areas of some fairly insignificant snow to the northeast, a few rain showers in Florida. That's about it. All the action right now is kind of confined to the Pacific Northwest, where you have a storm system kind of pounding into parts of Washington and Oregon there, some rain and snow in the higher elevations. All is quiet around here. We had a pretty cool Sunday, our highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s in many spots through the foothills and the Piedmont, a little bit chillier up in the mountains. And there's your current temperatures. These are 5 a.m. temperatures here on this Monday morning. 28 in Charlotte, 35 in Fayetteville, 29 in Boone, some 40s for most of the Carolina coast. A lot of pretty chilly air in many locations across the country. Even New Orleans is at 45, Dallas close to freezing, 16 degrees in Boise. You see the very coldest of air right now is up in the eastern parts of Canada. Some bitterly cold air up that way. Now, here's how we look right now. Just a few high clouds over Georgia and South Carolina. That's really about it. It's going to be basically a sunny day. High pressure building into the region will give us a couple of pretty nice weather days coming up. So today, notice on Stormcast, we're in great shape with sunshine through the day. Tonight, going to be pretty cold, clear. Lows probably in the upper 20s in many Piedmont spots, some mid-20s in the normally colder locations. And then tomorrow, we'll call it mostly sunny, probably some clouds trying to work in later in the day. And then certainly some clouds working in as we go through Wednesday just in advance of our next system. All right, on to the modeling. Here's what it looks like on the upper air chart, rather, off the European model. This is Wednesday morning. And you have this upper air low that's kind of cut off from the main upper level wind pattern off to the north. And so it only very slowly moves to the east. So again, that's Wednesday. By Friday, finally, that upper level low has gotten picked up and is moving into the Great Lakes region. But notice some nice ridging here across the southeastern part of the country. As we get on into Sunday, ridge is still there. And then all the way out to Wednesday, the ridge is still there to some extent. But what we're going to have happen probably is a pretty cold air mass enter the U.S. and gradually bleed southeastward as we get toward early to mid parts of next week. I'll show you that here in just one moment as well. Now here's the day 8 to 10 average of the upper air chart off the European model on the left, the GFS model on the right. You notice the Pacific looks pretty good. Some nice ridging up toward Alaska. If you want cold air in the southeast, that's not a terrible look. But you also have ridging near the Bahamas. And notice a lack of any significant ridging up toward western or central Greenland. And so with that being the case, it's at best a gradual process to get the cold air on in. Now there's some other factors that are kind of leading me to believe that the latter stages of January could be much chillier. I'll be getting to that in some of the future videos as we go forward. Let me quickly get you through this week, and then I'll talk about next week. There's the GFS. We're in good shape today, tomorrow, and then here we go. Wednesday, notice that area of high pressure over the Ohio Valley. By Thursday, that's in a really good cold air damming position. And so with that being the case, we're going to have a pretty decent little cold air damming event here Thursday night, maybe lingering into Friday. So that's going to cut into our temperatures. Going to be kind of a cooler, cloudy scenario Thursday night, and we'll see how long that wedge tries to linger into Friday. But certainly, by the weekend, things get very mild. I don't know if I'll put any of those panels on here. But the weekend looks really, really warm with highs Saturday, Sunday, probably trying to push into the 70 or above category in many locations across the region. Now let's go out to next week. All right, this is Monday on the European model, and there comes a cold front bleeding southeastward. All right, so there we go, Monday, and then notice that front on the European by Tuesday is pushed to the south, another cold air damming scenario with systems kind of riding along that front. This is going to be an interesting setup next week, as it looks like, again, that's the European, and really a very similar scenario on the GFS. This is Monday, a little slower with the front, but By the time you get out to Tuesday evening on the GFS, that front is just south of us, and notice there's one system moving along it. There comes another one out into the 16th, and then we get pretty chilly toward the latter frames of the GFS. And again, there's some factors indicating we might try to see a colder overall pattern as we get toward the latter stages, the last 10, 12 or so days of January, but still working on those ideas. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.